Right now, somewhere in your body, loneliness is doing something you can't see. Not sadness, not boredom, something closer to damage. Because what if loneliness isn't a feeling at all? What if it's a warning, wired into you the same way pain is wired into you? And what if ignoring it costs more than you think? For most of human history, being alone didn't just feel bad. It was fatal. A lone human on the savannah, cut off from the group, had no one to watch for predators while they slept, no one to share food during a bad season, no one to help if they got hurt. Isolation wasn't uncomfortable, it was a countdown, so your body built an alarm for it. The same way hunger tells you to eat, loneliness tells you to reconnect. But here's the question nobody asks. What happens when that alarm goes off for years and nobody answers it? Psychologist John Cacioppo at the University of Chicago spent decades studying exactly that. He called loneliness a biological signal, not a mood. In his research, chronically lonely people showed elevated stress hormones, disrupted sleep, and weakened immune responses. Their bodies behaved as if they were under constant low-grade attack, because to your nervous system, disconnection reads as danger. Real, physical danger. Now here's where it gets stranger. Julianne Holt-Lunstad at Brigham Young University analyzed data from over 300,000 people across dozens of studies. She wanted to know exactly how much loneliness shortens a life. Her answer shocked researchers. Chronic loneliness was linked to a rise in mortality risk comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day, comparable to obesity, worse than physical inactivity. Think about that for a second. You wouldn't ignore a pack-a-day smoking habit. So why does loneliness go unnoticed? Because it doesn't look dangerous. It looks quiet. It looks like an empty apartment, a phone that doesn't buzz, a lunch eaten alone at a desk. Nothing dramatic, nothing that sends you to a hospital immediately. Just a slow erosion, day after day, that your body registers as threat even when your mind insists everything is fine. Neuroscientist Steve Cole at UCLA went even deeper. He studied how loneliness changes gene expression itself. In lonely individuals, genes related to inflammation switched on, while genes that fight viruses switched down. Your body, at the genetic level, starts preparing for the wrong kind of war. It braces for injury from enemies, while leaving you exposed to illness from within. So why would evolution build something this costly? Because for almost all of human history, loneliness was rare and temporary. It was a signal meant to be felt for days, not decades. A short, sharp push back toward the group. Nobody was built to survive isolation stretched across months, years, an entire modern life lived behind screens and closed doors. The alarm was never designed to run this long. And that's the mirror this points back at you. Every scroll through a feed full of other people's lives. Every night spent replying to notifications instead of a person in the room. Every "I'm fine" that isn't quite true. Your body isn't confused by any of it. It's responding exactly the way it evolved to respond to disconnection. It just never expected disconnection to become the norm. So what does this mean for you right now? It means the ache you feel after a canceled plan, after a quiet weekend, after a room that stays too silent for too long isn't weakness. It's an ancient survival signal, still working perfectly. Still trying to save your life the only way it knows how, by pushing you back toward other people. Because in the end, loneliness was never really about being alone. It was your body, quietly asking you to go find your tribe before it's too late.